Hello, everybody. This is one-on-one with the short sale department. This afternoon, we're going to be interviewing Elizabeth Wojtaszek with the short sale department, and she's actually going to be talking to us about short sale, the inside scoop. So let's get right to it. Hi, Elizabeth.
Hi, how are you?
Good, good. Thank you so much for allowing us to film a quick little video for those agents that are wondering, just what's the life of a short sale negotiator and just what to expect. So let's get right to it because I'm sure there's a lot of anxious agents that are probably stressing out over files that are short sales and don't know how to go about it. So how long have you been in the industry?
Been in the industry for about 14 years right now. I've had my business as a short sale department for about 5 years. So it's pretty busy. So I'm blessed to say that.
Wow. Well, that's always great because in this industry, it's kind of who you ask. You're either too busy, productive, or unfortunately, you're about to close shop. So we're very excited that she's still going strong after 5 years of owning her business. So why would a realtor want the need to hire the short sale department? What do you think would be the advantage of somebody like whether it's a new realtor or an experienced realtor handing over files to somebody like you?
Well, if I were a realtor personally, and this would actually make a lot of sense, as a realtor, you'd want to be outside on the field trying to get business, make that contact with the seller, make a contact with the buyer. If you're continuously behind the desk, which I am right now, and you start processing your own short sales, at one point or another, your inventory of what you have is probably going to diminish. So the best thing to do would be contacting a short sale processor, negotiator such as myself, to actually be hired, process the file, negotiate the file, and get it approved, while the realtor is out there on the field, which is what they should be doing, getting more business.
It makes total sense. I mean, you definitely want to leverage yourself and use the services of somebody that does this full time, 24/7.
Absolutely.
Another question that I think it's important is how do you communicate with the agents? What's your method?
Communication with an agent is pretty simple and easy. We're technology driven, so the best way to communicate with an agent would be via email. I'm very on point with that. That's the most important thing to do on email. The simple reason is that I like to keep a history log, conversation log, what's going on with the file, so there's no miscommunication. I like to keep in contact with the agent, just sending a simple email letting them know, hey, this is what's going on your file. You might get an email maybe once a week or maybe once every other day, depending on if I need a document or not. But yes, mainly via email. You can contact me via text message. However, if it's going to be in regards to an update on your file, chances are I will not respond back to an update via text message. Why? Because we go back again to the conversation log. You always want to have a history and a log about the file, so it'll be via email.
That makes total sense. Now, another thing is during a short sale transaction or when you have a file, who do you actually communicate? I mean, do you talk to sellers? Do you talk to buyers? What's the scope on that?
So this is what a short sale negotiator is supposed to do. Well, this is the way I do it in better terms. I'm a liaison between the listing agent and the lender. So what that means is I contact the lender, I get the update from the lender, I relay it back to the listing agent. At the end of the day, the listing agent is the one that's hired me, not the buyer's agent, not the buyer, not the buyer's lender, or the seller, or the broker. That's another key important thing. The broker does not need to communicate with me, neither do all the other parties. The only one that should be communicating with me is really the one that hired me. Most of the time, that would be the listing agent because they're the ones that are working for the seller to get the short sale approved.
Okay, makes total sense. Now, as far as your compensation, how do you get paid? That's something that I think a lot of agents might be wondering. So take us through that. What's the step to go about it?
Well, there's a couple of steps of working at that. My compensation is as follows. We can add my fee, the short sale negotiator fee, onto the HUD-1, have escrow put it on the HUD-1. We submit it to the lender, see if the lender takes it and pays for it. Another way is I discussed this with the listing agent. Find out if the listing agent is actually going to be the one paying me. If not, the listing agent might have an idea of actually having the buyer's agent pay for it, or the buyer's agent may communicate with the buyer, and the buyer may secure my services for the simple reason that that buyer is the one that actually wants the property and they're actually committed to the file. Then they want to make sure they want to have a negotiator behind the file to make sure that their offer goes through perfectly. So there's a couple of ways of doing that, but before we even start the short sale process, the compensation and necessary paperwork will be discussed so that we could then move forward.
I think that's a great point that you made, that before we get started, obviously on a file, that everything will be set in stone so that everybody's on the same page, I think, for everybody's sake. Now, I'm sure a lot of agents are wondering, well, what banks has she worked with? Because not every bank is the same. Obviously, every bank is different. Every bank have their own set of documents and paperwork. So which banks have you worked with? Which ones have you found to be the easiest or the most challenging? And take us through that. I think that's important.
Well, there's many lenders out there. And for the agents that know this, a lot of these lenders have then service release those loans and have released them to other servicers. So Chase may have service release their file out to a resurgent. So have I dealt with many lenders? Absolutely. I've dealt with Bank of New York, Bank of Mellon, Ocwen, Bank of America. Those are the most infamous ones. Chase, Nation Star, Auction.com, which is the one that's picking up mostly right now. So have I worked with many lenders? Absolutely. Are any of them easy? I'm going to actually say yes. They are pretty easy as long as we have a complete short sale packet. As far as something being difficult, well, yeah, we have our difficult lenders. We can say that Ocwen is a difficult lender, but at the end of the day, it all has to be with the short sale packet. If the short sale packet is complete and we offer them and give them exactly what they're asking, then we shouldn't have a problem whatsoever.
It makes total sense. I mean, it comes back to, I think, the listing agent being proactive and getting the documentation necessary from the seller so that it could make your job a lot easier and not have to chase anybody around. So I think that's a great point. Now, have you dealt with files that maybe have multiple loans with different banks, maybe delinquent HOAs, possible clouded title? I know that we've been hearing more and more of short sale files that have clouded titles, and obviously agents don't know how to go about it. You know, how do you uncloud a title? Obviously, I don't know. I've never come across that, thank goodness. But for those that are encountering those, you know, what do you do in that case?
Well, have I encountered short sales that only have one lender? Yes. 2, yes. 3 and 4, absolutely. When it comes down to those, we actually get that up front. We have that information in the authorization form. And now when it comes down to HOA dues or delinquent taxes, we want to get to know that information in the beginning. Disclose. That's the most important thing that any real estate agent can do. Disclose. Disclose everything that you know about the actual short sale file. Anything that the homeowner has actually mentioned to you, the more you disclose, the better it is. The less you disclose, then we're going to be getting surprises at the end, which that's one thing we want to prevent. We always want to close a short sale on time, especially if we have an approval or a deadline, such as a sale date. We want to actually get that information up front. Can these HOAs get negotiated? Absolutely. Can delinquent taxes get negotiated? In some instances, they can. Who will pay for them? The lender will pay for them. Depends on the lender. But like I said, it's all about disclosing from the beginning.
I think that's a great point. And again, you know, disclosing up front will save a lot of headaches because everybody's able to tackle the issue a lot faster. Now, what about short sale files that have that are under bankruptcy? Have you dealt with anything related to that? What's the step that maybe an agent that may not have a lot of experience in short sales to go about it? What documents would they need to provide you, or how do you tackle a file like that?
Well, there's 2 things. There could be under bankruptcy, or it could be under clouded title because of a bankruptcy. It's okay. 2 different things that happen normally within short sale files. I'm seeing that more and more nowadays due to the fact that there's some homeowners that they don't know what to do. They panic. They work with a real estate agent maybe at the last minute. They have somebody cloud up their title. That's something that we can discuss one-on-one once I actually sit down with an agent or speak to them over the phone in regards to the file, that's something we can tackle on a side note. As far as the bankruptcy is concerned, if there's an actual bankruptcy on the short sale, on the actual property, we want to get the bankruptcy release forms. We want to make sure that bankruptcy has been discharged. And if the bankruptcy was only good for maybe about a month, we like to get that paperwork as well. Why? Because we would like to have all that paperwork within the file. So like I said, so that it's disclosed. As long as the agent actually discloses what's going on with the home, it's a lot better for us. We're not caught off guard. And when the lender actually says, hey, you know what, there is a bankruptcy on the property, we'll already know about it and we'll know how to tackle the situation.
I think that's something that is going to alleviate a lot of minds out there that are dealing with situations of a potential bankruptcy, and now they know how to go about it. Now, what are the hours of operation? And I think that's important because at the end of the day, we have to be aware that, you know, in real estate as well as, you know, short sale negotiating, we do have lives. Yes, we are humans, and we eat, breathe real estate. But at the end of the day, I think it's important to respect somebody's hours of operation. So, you know, when are you available to answer calls? You know, let us know. I think it's important.
So briefly, let me explain. The short sale department is open Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. You can contact me directly via 310-498-7781 or via email at the number 1 shortsaledirector@gmail.com. The easiest way, as I said from the beginning, is via email. It makes it a lot easier. Being on the phone constantly all day long, you'll probably get a voicemail, which majority of the time, realtors don't want to even leave a voicemail message, so it's best to contact me via email. Unlike some in-house short sale negotiators that some of you guys might have, some of you real estate agents might have, they're clocked in and clocked out. So once 5 o'clock hits the dot, they're punching out. You won't get an update until who knows when. Unlike us, we'll send you out an update, and it could be even after hours. It could be a surprise. You might have an approval letter, but the time frame for the short sale department hours of operation are from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m.
So again, what is your cell phone? I think that's a key. If you can give us your cell phone twice and the contact information, because I think that's going to be key for those viewers out there that are anxious to contact you and start doing some business. Let's give it to them again.
Okay, so the phone number, once again, it's area code 310-498-7781. Once again, it's 310-498-7781. The email address, very important, it's the number 1 shortsaledirector@gmail.com. Once again, it's the number 1 shortsaledirector@gmail.com. You can shoot me a text to let me know that I am getting an email from you, and I'll respond back as it comes in, and we can start from there.
Well, I mean, we're definitely very excited that we were able to catch her at her office, obviously in full work mode, and the fact that she was able to, you know, allow us to film her and just do a one-on-one situation here with video to answer a lot of the questions that agents might have. I think it's great. So we definitely want to thank you for allowing us to film this, and we definitely wish you much success, and I'm sure we'll be hearing a lot of Elizabeth Wojtaszek in the short sale department. So follow her, obviously, and much success to you.
Thank you, and thank you for coming by.
Thank you.